YouTube. It'll be recorded there if you guys need it. I've been working on my guide for how to buy and how to resell for in general. So go ahead. Oh, I'm gonna have you work on the display. They're selling Joseph Siebel today, so I want to prepare the shoes that you're gonna be pulling and showing for people. So I want to have like at least 2 or 3 flat racks full of the ones that you're pulling from, and then as you go through, they will refill it. Gotcha. And AG is sick today. Yep. Cool. Yep. Holly and Asha will give you directions. Hello, everybody. So I've been working on my guide for everybody on how to buy bulk. What's up, Haley? How are you guys? It's going to be on my website. It's going to be called Reseller FAQ. And you just go to my website, dailyrefinement.com, and on there, I wrote an article on how to buy stuff. Go ahead, Jess. Good afternoon, Jess. So if you guys have any questions when it comes to reselling, let me know. And I'm going to add it all into my guide. So far, I have a pretty long write-up on why sales are slow, if people have that. And this is essentially, I've been reselling full-time for about 7 years. My website's dailyrefinement.com. So I put on my website, I'm essentially going to put as much information as possible. Am I single? I'm married, so not single. Okay, so essentially, I'm giving you everything except for who to buy from. So, okay, do I recommend buying manifested or unmanifested? Okay, I'm gonna actually add that to the questions right now. So, let's see. Should I buy manifested or unmanifested pallets? Okay, this is a really good question. Okay, so what I'm gonna do today, guys, is I can't write this and answer all the chat at the same time. So what I'm going to do is just write your question a couple of times if I don't get it, and I'll try to get to it. So should I buy manifested or unmanifested pallets? What that means is, let me look up a definition for you guys. In my write-up on my website, I have I'm sorry. On my website, my website's dailyrefinement.com, and the reseller FAQ, I have all of these things written out. And I'm trying to put as many definitions as I can on there. So manifested means essentially, is it written out line by line or is it random? So I'll tell you that most companies have manifested goods when they liquidate. The thing is, what happens is the person that buys the liquidation sometimes will take out the good stuff and sell whatever is remaining. And I call this creaming. And creaming is a term that comes from, have you guys heard the French term creme de la creme? It's essentially like the best of the best, the cream of the cream. Creaming means you're just taking the best out of the lot and then selling everybody the average items. It's extremely common. 99% of the items that you buy are going to have some type of creaming happening where they take out the good stuff. It's just part of it. If you don't have the relationship directly with the manufacturer, um, they're going to take out some of the good stuff. It's just part of it. Also, when you're buying that from the manufacturer, you're taking on the most risk. So, like, it makes sense to kind of reduce your risk a little bit by taking out some of the good items. It is what it is. It's just kind of a messy thing. This is why when you buy a storage unit auction, they put the PlayStation on top, and the rest of it is used underwear. You guys know what I mean? That's how you would sell it. If you were selling a storage unit, you wouldn't put the used underwear on top and the PlayStation on the bottom. You would not get a good price. So that's just how it works. Okay. So there is no version of this where so some people will say just buy if you can make money or break even from what's on top, but that's extremely unlikely. No one does that. Like it's really uncommon that like you're buying 500 pieces, the 10 pieces on top pay for the whole thing. That's extremely unlikely. So that model sounds nice, but in practice it's going to take you about 80% of it to break even. I understand, like, maybe if you're at the flea market or a garage sale, you can go somewhere and grab it. Um, like if you're at the flea market or you're at a garage sale and you're like, "Hey Becky, I see you have these La Longa Burger. I see you have these Longa Burger baskets, right?" And you look at you're on your phone, you're like, one of them's on eBay for $99. And you're like, cool. And she's like, I just give me $5 for the Longa Burger baskets. And you're like, okay, cool. This one that I saw over there is worth 95. If I get that one and I sell for 95 and I get 70, then that pays for 10 of these as you selling 10 of them for $5 each or whatever, right? Maybe in that scenario you can do it, but when you're buying pallets, it doesn't work like that. Like there's unless the pallet is very inexpensive, like 40 or $50, you're not gonna make enough money from the top row. Um, okay, so let me just answer this question. My next question is gonna be from the efficient packaging systems. So should I buy manifested or unmanifested goods? Most companies have manifested goods when they liquidate. After a broker buys it, they'll take out the good stuff and typically they'll sell the rest of it unmanifested. Does that make sense, guys? Everybody with me? A company sells their goods, right? So like Nike's like, we'll sell something to somebody. They're gonna take out all the jackets and boots, right? Then they'll say, but when they get it, it'll have the full list. When Barbara buys it from Nike directly, this doesn't happen because they don't do it that way. But Barbara buys it from Nike directly, they get it. Barbara takes out the good items. The rest of it, she just says random Nike pallet. This is 99% of liquidation works like this. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. They take out some of the good stuff and then it becomes manifested. So it doesn't really matter to me if it's manifested or unmanifested. It really depends on the price. So I'm going to put in here, you have to determine the level of risk you are willing to take, but typically unmanifested lots make the most money. Okay, this is why, like, I'll give you an example. You're at a garage sale, right? And you're like, how much for the whole pile? And they're like, I don't know, give me $50. Take the whole pile home. Usually makes way more money than, hey, I have 10 Lego sets. Disney, Marvel, blah, blah, blah. And then they have the eBay listing taped to all 10 of them. That's not going to be a good deal. That's manifested. That's like every single one is listed out how much it is. Last one sold on eBay for this. Last one sold on eBay for 100. I'll take 95 for it. That person is not, it's not a good deal. So I would recommend generally unmanifested is the most profit, but it's the most risky. So to determine whether or not that amount risked is actually worth it. So for me, typically unmanifested you make way more money, but you got to have way more processes because you got to sell all of it and you got to look through all of it. You can't just like buy it, sell 10 things. It doesn't work that way. Only works that way at a garage sale. Um, Also on here, I'm going to recommend 99% of people do not buy pallets. It's very risky. Let me just save this answer. So I have the manifested one in here. Okay, next question is, do I have any efficient packaging methods after selling 300 items in a live show? Okay, so this is important for buying liquidation too. How fast are you going to be able to move this? Shipping is really, really important. And like, I want to move towards same day shipping. So let me just put this in here. What is the best way to ship? Okay, so um, there's going to be a huge section in here for shipping because a lot of people have shipping questions. Okay, this is going to be the best tip that I can give you for shipping. Try to ship within 1 hour. When I was just starting, I had 1 hour shipping because I had no money and no inventory. So like all the items fit in one moving box, and I had the moving box in my car. So like in the beginning when I just started and I got a sale, it would ship immediately. I'd be like, "Thank you so much for your sale. I'm shipping it right now." And they'd be like, "Oh wow, I just ordered 10 minutes ago." And I'm like, "I only have 7 items for sale, so lucky for you, I can get it out immediately." If you can aim for same hour shipping, which is what Amazon does, Amazon ships everything like basically immediately. As soon as you press order, like 15 minutes later, the machine is moving. There's like a grace period for canceling, and then it's already moving. It's on its way. If you live in a metro area like me, most items deliver same day. You order in the morning, you get it in the afternoon. You can order at night and it's there in the morning. stuff's really, really fast. So you have to think about that because it'll help you analyze everything um, to make it the fastest process. So essentially, the best way to ship is aim for same hour shipping and the least moving parts possible. So essentially, you don't want you don't want the item to move very much. In the perfect world, you'd sell one item, print one label, put it in the thing, put the label on it, and ship it. If you're doing bundling shipping, it's more complicated, right? And I recommend the best way for bundle shipping is to number everything. Then you can match number 1 and number 85 together, put it in the same bag. And let me put this in here. For bundle shipping, I recommend numbering everything and picking all of the orders first. So essentially, let's say you have 20 orders with 5 of them each. You walk around, you pick all 20 orders, you put the label on top of all 20 before you start, and then that reduces the amount of mistakes. If it's not right, you can check the video review and whatnot, or in eBay you can check the photo, make sure it's right before you start shipping. Let me put in here, if possible, ship every order one at a time. The fastest companies in the world ship one at a time, not bulk. So Amazon is the fastest shipping company in the world. They ship every single order one at a time. Reduces the mistakes. The shipper doesn't move. The person. So essentially, the shipper should not move. If you want the fastest shipping, the item should come to the shipper. So when I was on eBay, if you guys watch my video, 1 hour daily refinement shipping method, it's the best video I've ever made on YouTube. It's the whole process. It's 45 minutes. I photograph, list, put away, ship 10 items. That's the best video I've ever made. You can just Google daily refinement 1 hour method. In that video, you will see I don't move at all during the shipping process. It takes me only like 7 minutes to ship 10 items. I don't even move my feet once. Everything I walk through my inventory system, get everything. I put it to the left of me. I print every single order one at a time. Um, I don't. There's like no wasted movement. It's really fast. So most people could do their entire business in just under 1 hour a day if you don't move. The problem is people walk like 100 steps in between every order, and now you turn something that can take 7 minutes into 4 hours because you're like running a half marathon in between your shipping. Um, okay, so where do I source brand name inventory? So okay, let me get that's a good question too. Where do I get brand name items? So typically, to get brand name items, you need a brick and mortar or a reputable online store. Most brand name liquidation is a scam. So 99% of if you're buying a brand name like Nike, if you're buying a mall brand online, it's probably a scam. It's either like people getting it and aggregating it from a whole different bunch of companies together and making their own lot up, or there's just it's very, very unlikely to get it. Um, unless you're buying it from a brick and mortar who has that license to get it directly. If a broker has touched it, it's probably going to be garbage. I would not recommend ever doing that. Um, if you do that, I mean, expect to lose 100% of your money because it's just so risky. And the typical, this is really, really important. So maybe you guys should write this down. I'm surprised all these people are asking a question and not buying an auction. That's very rude. But anyway, the um, trying to think here. Okay, this is the typical. Everyone, please write this down. This is very, very, very messed up, but it's how it works. This is how it typically works. Let's say I buy something from Nick in the group, right? And Nick's like, "Hey, Chris, I have 500 units of Free People jeans." This is he wouldn't, but if he said I had 500 pairs of Free People jeans, right? Maybe he got it from buying out in Urban Outfitters and then whatever. He has all these Free People jeans, right? This is what a typical broker will do. Okay, they will say, I have 1,000 units of free people left available, right? And Nick calls me, he says, Chris, I have 500 free people jeans for $15 each, right? 500 for 15 each. So then the broker will say, hey guys, I have 1,000 free people jeans at $30 each, right? And they don't even have it. Okay, this is so typical. So then you're like, oh, I heard you have 1,000 pieces of free people jeans at $30. And so let's say you want to place an order, or you're like, okay, let me try to do it. They don't even have it yet, right? So then they're negotiating with the company to get it. And sometimes they take your money first. And it's always wrong. It's always less units than they said it was, and it's always not the quality that they say it is. So it's like extremely the people who are really good at wholesaling, they basically tell you it's going to be garbage. If you're working with a reputable person, they're like, hey, this is damaged. It's samples. I'm going to sell wholesale later. I'm going to tell people it's damaged. It's samples. It's overstock. It's dirty. Because otherwise, people are thinking they're just getting this stuff from the store and it's perfect, and it's not like that unless you were the store. You guys know that if you buy something from Walmart clearance and it's new and you send it into Amazon, they could reject it because it's not new enough. New to Amazon means gift quality, and that's what I consider new. I consider new, it's from the store with the manufacturer's warranty, right? If you buy a Yeti, right? You buy a Yeti on Whatnot, or you buy a Yeti on Poshmark or eBay, it doesn't have a warranty. That's not new to me, especially if you didn't get a good deal on it. You're getting a good deal because it doesn't have the warranty. It's new, but it has some problems with it. So like this is the part where like in the United States, the I think that the kings of what we do are Ross, TJ Maxx. So like I want to be like them. Ross, TJ Maxx, Marshalls. That's who everybody should copy because they do it really, really well. Tons and tons of people are happy. Um, so let's see here. So okay, I'm gonna go back and answer a few more questions. Yeah, you can give money if you want. I'm actually not the whole thing about me offering something for sale here is not that I need this $9 that I'm receiving right now. It's to show you that everything is reciprocation. Okay, the only reason suppliers would work with you, like literally, this would be if for some reason you were sleeping with them, right? You took care of their kids. You paid them a lot of money. You're really nice to chat with. Like you have to be their number one option or they're not working with you because they don't need you. People who have all the good supply don't need you. So if you're like, hey, can I buy like a couple of your items for a really low price? They're not going to work with you. That's like saying the dating analogy to me works really well because I think a lot of people can relate. It's like going up to a supermodel and offering, hey, do you mind? I know you're a supermodel and really famous and really rich, but do you mind paying me? I know I'm the one asking you for something, but do you mind paying me to help me get my modeling career started? Um, it just they're like receiving $15 million contract, $20 million contract, $5 million contract, and you're just a person off the street asking for them to give you money. That's how like out of touch people are when they're trying to get a supplier. You have to be their best option. Otherwise, they don't work with you. So like that's why you don't need to buy a wholesale course. They're just gonna say, I can charge you guys $2,000 for that too, but it's not real. You can't just go from nobody to working with a supplier. It takes time. And it usually is you know somebody personally. Like it's extremely uncommon to just go online and just find a random person who's reputable. All the people that are reputable have been around for a really long time. There's not like a I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like it just takes time to build something. It's like one of my favorite shows is Married at First Sight because it doesn't work. Okay, like Nick is like, hey, this is what I want. I want a beautiful woman who's nice, caring, loves walks on the beach, and I was looking for 5'9" beard guy, little bit of a pot belly. And she writes down, I want a 5'9" guy with a pot belly that makes $46,000 a year and loves dogs, right? And she gets it, right? And they're like exact match, and they show up and then like 48 hours later they can't stand each other. It just takes a long time to get to know somebody. Every single parent says the same thing. I'm not really sure you guys have known each other long enough. I mean, like 48 hours is kind of a long time, but not really. Some people spend 5, 7 years before they get married, right? So getting a relationship with a supplier takes a long time. Usually it's a personal relationship. Usually it starts at the flea market, starts locally with you meeting people in your area, starts there, and then it grows into more bulk. I don't have any suppliers that I work with on a large basis that I haven't met. There's not any like, and they will also vet you. Every single supplier that I work with has visited me here too. I've met them, they've met me here, right? So like, it's hard to just shell out all this stuff without them really, really, really knowing you. Cartoon says, "Have I noticed all these sellers getting Birkenstock pallets?" Yes. So this is kind of a hack. You could work with a company like Ghost or Bulk.com or Liquidation.com or all these companies that aggregate all these returns. It's just that they don't have the items, so you're getting kind of a difficult. It's difficult to get the actual deal because, like, I'd say I probably spent a couple $1 million with these companies, and I've at best I've broken even. It's very hard because they don't have the inventory, so they can't accurately describe it to you. So it doesn't even matter how much you. I bought $50 kids sweaters for $3, and I still broke even because the sweaters were like they were kids and toddlers, but they were like I only got 3 colors. I only got 3 sizes. Some of them were irregular. Even though I paid $3 for $50 sweaters, I just sold them on average for $5. So like it's hard because you don't really know unless you're dealing with the actual manufacturer, and even they don't know. There's no Lululemon liquidation unless it's used, and the used stuff comes from Goodwill and the new stuff comes from the outlet. So I have liquidation from Lululemon from 2 different places. I either order from their website, we made too much. Um, the thing is with Lululemon, this is also important. With Lululemon, they don't allow reselling. You guys know this? A lot of companies don't allow reselling. This is huge. They don't allow reselling. So what that means is if you let them know that you're a reseller, they will ban you because they don't want their we made too much goods being resold. They want it going to customers who can't afford regular Lululemon. Why do they need you? They want um, you to go to Lululemon. Let's say that you're balling on a budget, right? And you want to go to yoga class this weekend and you want to impress your girlfriends, but you don't have $115 to spend on leggings. So you go to Lululemon.com, go to the We Made Too Much, you buy a $38 pair of purple camo capri leggings that nobody wanted in the store for $119. So they priced them at $28. So you got that, right? So you're going to the yoga class now. But the people who really know the brand are like, yo, girl, that's like last season. And that was on the website. So like, even though you tried to like save money for the clout, the people who really know the brand, they know that you're a poser. Anyway, that's besides the point. My point is they want that customer to buy from them directly. They don't want you to buy it and then you guys post it on eBay for $68 and then people who don't know at home and they don't have a Lululemon within 200 miles of where they live, they buy it. And maybe they do impress their friends on the weekend because where you live, Target and Aerie is the only brands, right? I don't know. There's like a lot to this, but my point is Lululemon does not liquidate. They only sell through their outlet. They don't have Nike doesn't liquidate. They only sell through their outlet. Big brands do the liquidating on their own to their final customer, not through resellers. Does that make sense? I want to sell only to the final customer. Liquidation is okay, but like I'm not gonna. It's really hard because if I sell you guys an item to resell, I'm only making $1. But if I sell it to the final customer, I can make $10 or $20. Um. So okay, there's a lot of this is so interesting. People are always gonna ask, how do I get Skims? How do I get Nike? How do I get Lululemon? Do they not liquidate? So essentially, all companies liquidate. It's challenging because verifying if these goods are legit or not is up to you guys. I don't know if people buying it and reselling it are legit or not. Um, Depends where they got it, right? I would guess that most of the skims that you see on Whatnot probably is legit, because I've sold tons of those brands, and they all come from reputable dealers. Um, and this is where I think it's easy to understand. Skims to me is a direct to consumer brand. This is important. Like, it's not mainly sold at Nordstrom or Saks Fifth Avenue. It's mainly sold on their website directly to the customer. You see Carly Kardashian on Instagram posting, you click the link, you go to their website, you buy from them directly, and it goes to you. That's why there's liquidation, in my opinion, because there's no store. It's not mostly sold at the store. I don't know if that makes sense, but most of it's direct to consumer. Direct to consumer has tons of liquidation. But Nike, I don't think most Nike is sold at Nike.com. Uh, I could be wrong, actually. I don't know, but I would be surprised because Nike has so much distribution, brick and mortar, a ton of it, a ton of it. So like, Nike pallets or Jordans just at the Nike outlet. There's no way to get it direct. Let's see. So like McDougal. McDougal's another direct to consumer brand. Getting it direct would just be working with a broker that works directly with them, or you work directly with them. Same thing. Macy's is the easiest to get because they have their own liquidation site. Macy'sLiquidation.com is legit. 88 Lots is a real company. I've ordered from them before. How do I get QVC clothes? Every single broker can get QVC clothing. They have a lot. They have like 60 or 70 truckloads. I've QVC is extremely common. QVC was like my third or fourth foray in the reselling. I started with Stitch Fix and then I ordered some QVC. QVC was insane. Ryan, thank you for the purchase. QVC. I think Ryan's probably purchased QVC. It was wild. I got masks, mask jewelry. In the same pallet, I got masks and mask jewelry, complete garbage, right? And I also received Instapots, massagers, like plates, pots, pans, bubble wrap, Christmas wrapping. It was insane. The QVC lots taught me like so much about merchandise. I will not do that anymore because it's too hard. It's too hard to sell that many things. Hard to train. I've been selling pallets for about 2.5 years now, and I have sold, I want to say, like around 1,000 pallets so far. Yes. So I have a guide at dailyrefinement.com, reseller FAQ. I recommend thrifting in the beginning because you can just buy only the bangers. You don't have to buy any junk. Um, it's not that easy to find. And when you say you've researched so much, do you mean like 10 years of asking? Because I think people's definition of trying really hard is not what they think it is. For Macy's pallets, you don't need an LLC. You just need a resale permit, which should be free, and you do not need Mojo. Thank you for the purchase. You do not need a reseller. You do not need an LLC or an S corp for that. I'm gonna put that in here. Let's see. Hold on. LLC. Let me add that right here. That's a really good question. Do I need an LLC or corporation to buy wholesale? No, you do not. You can a resale certificate for free with just your social security number. But remember, you have to file a form that says that you don't own. I have to add this before I save it. So you have to file a form each year to let your state know you don't owe any tax. Sales tax for items sold online on platforms that remit for you. So for example, eBay, Poshmark, whatnot, they collect tax for you and remit it to the state for you, so you don't have to do that yourself. Before you had to do that, you actually had to remit to the state how much tax you collected from people. This is why when you apply for wholesale, they're going to ask you, where's your resale certificate? But you do not have to do that. Also, The main cost of goods is the goods that don't sell and the space that it takes up and the amount it takes to process it. So, Ryan, I don't know how much of this Ryan does on his own, but I have been getting dirty. My nails are so dirty from um processing everything to physically figure out how long every single thing takes because items are coming in, right? And I don't want them to go into my warehouse if we're not going to sell them. So like literally truck comes in, we're unloading it outside. I'm looking through every single item in the whole truck, and if it's not good enough, it's staying outside. I'm not bringing it into the warehouse. It's just so much work to get it, bring it into the warehouse, not sell it, move it around 50 times inside here, and then throw it away. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just gonna catch it before it gets into the warehouse, and we're gonna figure out a routine so every person's looking at every single item. And if it's not good, thank you for the tips, guys. If it's not good, it's not coming inside. Stuff that I don't sell, I am throwing away or I'm donating it. So donating it or throwing it away. Um, Mojo has a says that there's a whatnot meeting in Philly in February. That is awesome. Yes. So if you guys are in the Philly area, contact Mojo's wife Joni. Please tag her in the chat and go to that meetup. I went to the meetup here. Nick, you should go to the meetup in your area if there is one. It was so useful. The whatnot meetup that I went to. Here it was Mama Sweet Repeats. And I didn't host. I just went and met everybody, which was so useful. You get to see how people run their business. And I think that right now, I know whatnot is against games and mystery, and they're not really into it. But I feel like if you are a legitimate person running a real game and you're following all the rules, I feel like it's such a good way for a normal person to get started on whatnot, make a couple bucks, and then they can transition away from mystery boxes into selling normal stuff and just don't lie. Just say like, hey, in box A, we have this. In box B, we have this. In box C, we have this, right? Sell 3 boxes. One person gets this, one person gets this, one person gets this. One of them is more valuable than the other one, so people pay a little bit more for the other two. You make a little profit. You switch to buying and selling something else. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. People who run mystery games not like this will probably get banned because it's total bullshit. But if you run it like this, where it's legitimate, people get something for each one, and then you make a little bit of money on two and you lose money on one, then you can use that money to roll into something else. That was something that I saw a lot of at the local meetup that I went to. People were just getting their feet wet and learning how different categories work. And I really like how they have made that rule that the 3 things have to be in the same category. So now it's going to force people to actually focus. What's up, Star Bob? Thank you so much. Why don't I sell pallets at resellers? I have been. I'm gonna sell some today on whatnot. Um, it's just a bit complicated. It's been costing me on average $725 to ship, so it's expensive and it's complicated to educate people on liftgate, appointment, how to unload it. So that's why I want to make this reseller FAQ so I can just say if you have any questions, go to my document, answers everything, and then you can try it. Essentially what you're going to have to do, you're going to have to become expert at processing if you want to buy pallets, and 99% of people will lose money. There are people who make money, but like you have to sell all of it. So like to give you an idea of this, I hope this analogy hits home, guys. This is worth a $5 tip. Wink wink. um Coca-Cola's profit margin, right, is under 10%. Okay, so what that means is that on a 12 pack of Coke, the first 11 cans, they don't make any money. Okay, they only make money when they sell the 12th can on a 12th pack. That's how pallets work. Okay, this is why people don't make money. They don't sell all of it. I hope that makes more sense. I don't know how I can make that more clear, but like you don't make money until you sell all of it. The document's on my website dailyrefinement.com. I am going to offer a local pickup, but like you don't make money. This is like the story. I'm gonna butcher the story, but there's like this kid that works at a grocery store, and he's like, "Hey, boss, there's a really old can of tomato sauce at the back of the shelf. It's really dusty, and like, can I just throw it away?" And he's like, "Son, grocery stores only operate at 5% margin, and that dusty old can in the back." is the only can that we make profit on in the whole case. Oh, and the kid's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, sir. It's not dusty. It's beautiful, and it keeps our business open, and it provides a roof over my head and a job. Thank you so much for this dirty old," or whatever the story is. He starts to appreciate this can in the back. That's full profit, and that's what people don't make money until the 12th month of the year. They don't cross from losing money to making money until November 26th or something. Because that's how long it takes to break even. After that, you make money. Now, if you are thrifting, that is not true. Okay, if you're thrifting, you can make your money immediately. You go to the thrift store, you find a Stanley mug that somebody threw away, you buy it for $4, you post it on Facebook Marketplace, you sell for $20, you got all of your money back and enough money to buy a couple more immediately. That does not work with liquidation though. Thrifting, it works because you're only buying a couple things and they're all bangers. When you're buying liquidation, it should be called like occasional banger. Occasional banger versus only bangers. Right? Occasional banger is also most streams on whatnot. Occasionally there's a banger. Most of the time it's garbage. Right? Fat Pocket Sherry says you sold Amazon pallets. You found them extremely profitable. They used to be really profitable, in my opinion, before Amazon started processing them. So, like, before Amazon started taking out all the good stuff, right? They were way more profitable than now. But the world is way smarter than you guys think. So, as soon as there's any kind of thing that's super profitable, it gets flooded. Nothing works forever, nothing works for very long. You have to keep changing it up, right? But you do it the same way. That makes sense? Change up what you sell, but you do it the same way. TJ Maxx, you go in there every single day, they'll have different inventory, but they sell it the same way. Okay, you go to Starbucks. Starbucks is interesting because they really do sell the same things every day in the same way, and that's maybe why they're so successful, right? But like, it's not about selling in a different way. Selling things in a different way is guaranteed not to work. That's why I'm trying my best to, like, train all my staff to do it the exact same way, the same time. So just to reduce defects. Anytime somebody's like, "Hey, I decided to do it this way today," all these defects. Um, Good to the Goodwill outlets if you have one. I agree. The Goodwill outlets is the most classic way to earn money, but even the Goodwill outlets is getting more expensive and it's also getting more competitive because they have large eBay stores and pull out a lot of the good stuff on their own. So it is what it is. It's not like you still can't find stuff, but occasional banger or only banger, you guys can let me know in the chat. Are you guys the occasional banger style and you want to go bulk and you don't want to go sourcing? You just want to stay home and process it? Or do you want to be only bangers? You go out like and hunt for your food, find the best stuff, bring it home. Are you only banger or occasional banger in the chat? Um, most hustlers are hunters. Most hustlers are hunters. And if you're a hunter, guys, this is the thing though, right? There's a lot of hunters out there that hunt like minnows. Do you guys know what minnows are? Like if you're gonna hunt, let's try to hunt like beaver or larger. Okay, beaver would be like a $20 profit or larger. Hunting small game, it's gonna be hard because like if you are hunting like you know a beaver, you could at least eat that for a couple of days. But if you're hunting minnows, it's not even a snack. Like it might cost you more calories eating it than it is like by the time you get the fish and eat it, you might have burned more calories than hunting it. That's not big enough. So you guys need to look for bigger things. If you're gonna be a hunter, you got to go after bigger ones. King is a big hunter. I love it. Bins take a lot of time. It's just that when you go hunting at the bins, you're gonna definitely find beavers or larger. This is my opinion. If you go to the Goodwill outlet all day, there are beavers, there are elephants, there are whales inside the Goodwill bins. The most valuable item I've ever found was at the bins. I found multiple items over $1,000 that I paid less than $1 for. There's no version of that except for the Goodwill bins. Hopefully that makes sense, guys. Um, Occasional banger is okay. So there's another way to do that. You can throw out a little bit of a net. Like if you go to a flea market or the Goodwill bins and you buy like um 50 pounds of something, the inside there could be like there could be some mids, there could be some skunks, some squirrels, some hamsters, right? And then maybe you have a couple of elephant, giraffe, rhinoceros in there, right? Some bigger game. But like it makes more sense to go to another Goodwill bin and only hunt elephants or larger. It just That's what I recommend doing if you have less time. If you don't like listing, then just spend 10 to 12 hours a day at the Goodwill bins. You're only going to be able to find really, really, really expensive stuff if you spend all your time there. The other alternative is you could find somebody like me locally and look through all the stuff and find the bangers and split it with the owner. I would do that. If somebody came here and found all the pieces over $100 and they wanted to list it on Poshmark or eBay, I would do that. So like but I have elephants and rhino. I have big game here, right? You got to go where there's big game. There's a lot of big game at the Goodwill bins, at the thrift store too. Everywhere where you can see 4,000 items in one visit, you'll find one big game thing if you know what you're looking for. Do I recommend a particular method for record keeping for taxes? Yes, Elegance. Thank you for asking that. I recommend QuickBooks or Zero. Those are the two companies I recommend. Zero or QuickBooks. Both excellent. If you use one bank account, one debit card, or one credit card, I recommend debit card though. And you just follow the rules that I laid out in my on my website, you'll never get in trouble. You guys ready? I'll give you the rundown. You guys ready? Let's do it. Okay. So this is my recommendation. You buy something that has at least a $20 differential between the market and what you buy it for. The example I use on my website is you buy something that's worth $30 or more plus shipping that you pay for $10 or less. Zero is XERO. Can somebody type that in the chat? Zero is the company that I recommend for accounting. It's the one that I use. Okay, so you buy something that's worth $30 or more for $10. Then you sell it for $30 plus shipping plus tax. So what this means is the customer is paying $42. Hopefully this makes sense. Customer is paying like $30 for the item, $9 for shipping, and like $3 for tax. They're paying 42, which should already tell you how rare this is, right? There's not that much stuff that is that people are willing to pay $42 for, and that's the point. This should be hard. There's not that many items that actually are like that. So $42 what the customer pays. eBay, Poshmark, or whatnot, they're going to take $6. Okay, so you have $24 left. Everybody with me? You bought something for 10. You sold it for 30 plus everything. At the end, they deposit $24 in your bank account. 10 started with 10. Now you have 24. Everybody still here? Yes. Okay. You paid 10, you sold it for 30 plus shipping. So the customer paid $42, but you only got $24 deposited in your bank account. Okay. Now, with the $24, you buy two items for $10 again. Okay. So you had 24, you spend $20 on two items. Now you have $4 left, right? This is why you don't need a credit card. So $4 left. With that $4, you keep $2 for yourself. Go crazy. Buy Sour Patch Kids. Okay. Go crazy with the $2 that you got. The $2 that are left, $1.20, save that for taxes, and then 80 cents, leave that in your bank account. Okay? That's it. So you reinvest 20% into your company. And this is from Dave Ramsey. Don't blame me. I'm just taking this from Dave Ramsey and it's worked for me. Essentially, you only spend what you have. And I like Dave Ramsey's business advice more than I do like his personal advice. So you guys could follow him online. I'm sure you guys have heard of him. His business stuff is called Entree Leadership. But my recommendation is you buy something where you can at least double your money. So in this scenario, you turn $10 into 14. Does that make sense, guys? You sold bought something for 10, you sold it for 30 plus shipping. You got $24 back. So if you take out the $10 you spent on it, you have $14 remaining. That's doubling plus $4. Right? Everyone with me? So then the doubling part you reinvest into two items instead of one, and then the $4 you get to live on $2, get to pay the tax man, and you want to pay taxes so that you can buy a house one day. Actually, I guess if you're really balling, if I could start over right now and I didn't have a wife and kids, I guess I could be a reverse, or I guess I could be a vampire. What I mean is like, I could sleep during the day at my storage unit. So let's say you buy like a minivan. You sleep during the day at your storage unit because they don't allow you to sleep there overnight, but they do allow you to sleep there during the day. At night, maybe go to a McDonald's that has free Wi-Fi and work all night and get your items listed, right? So no rent, you got a minivan, you can deliver your items immediately. I mean, this is like if you just eat rice and beans, that means that your overhead per day is like less than $5. Then you're killing it, right? That's what I'm talking about. As far as like if I was gonna redo it, I would sleep during the day at the storage unit. No one's gonna get mad at you for sleeping there during the day. Um, get a gym membership, take care of yourself. Beans and rice. List at night because no one's gonna bother you because no one's awake. Shower Planet Fitness. Yeah, somebody said you have to be young for that. Okay, now you say that, right? But like, there's people who are older that are in that situation. So like, just be grateful. I want to tell you guys something that really helped me. I have to leave in 7 minutes because I'm starting a show. But the best thing for me ever has been so I don't know if you guys have been following me for a while, but I used to think that I was a negative person. And I figured out why. It's because um, I didn't know how to be grateful. I feel like I am a grateful person. I feel like I'm super lucky. I have everything, but I didn't know how to be grateful until like a couple weeks ago when I was reading this. And this guy said, I get to hang out with my kids. I get to do the dishes. I get to do chores. So meaning like I get to do dishes because I have enough money to buy food. I get to hang out with my kids because I was blessed with having kids. Instead of like some people who are like, I have to take the kids tonight because my wife is going out of town or I have to go to work today. You know what? You get to go to work today because you are lucky to have a job. Lots of people do not have a job, right? So I've changed everything to I get to. In fact, they had this thing that said it's a gratitude journal, right? Where you write down things that you're grateful for. I don't have to do that anymore because I just have a goal list that I want and it says I get to work on these goals today, right? So I wake up and I'm like, okay, cool. I get to work on being in great shape. I get to work on having a calm mind. I get to work on having a business that provides food and shelter to the people that work here. I get to provide value to my customers. All I think about is how to get my customers the best deal possible. And now I'm not negative anymore because I don't know what I was thinking about before, but I wasn't thinking I get to do it. Now I think about I get to do it. And for everything, I get to change a diaper. You know what? And some people are like, I don't know if this is true, but people are like, when you're on your deathbed, you'd give anything to change another diaper. Just one more time before I die, I want to change my kid's diaper. But I was like, why can't it be a better experience than that? Why can't it be like I get to go on a walk with my kid? Why does it have to be? I would, I'd, ra- I wish I could change one more diaper. But I get it. The whole point of it is that you'd rather spend one more second with your family than die, right? So I'm thinking of it that way, and it's been fantastic. And I get to hang out with my kids, and now I realize that that's not going to be forever. So I try to enjoy it. I get to do chores. I get to do dishes because I have money to buy food. So it's been the best. I get to. I am blessed. How do I document? The document I have is at my website, dailyrefinement.com. Click reseller FAQ. I'm going to work on it for free. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't. And I also, now that I am like, I don't have a course anymore, I'm okay with not I don't have to be politically correct anymore. So essentially, like as an example, um, I don't think you should cross list because I think if you just put all that effort into one platform, you'll be more successful. I have found that to be true for me. Selling in less categories has helped me make more money. Selling on one platform has made me more money. I've been suspended before on one platform, and then I just switched to a different platform. If I got suspended on whatnot, I think I would still be successful if I did something else. Um, so I don't have to like defend myself anymore. You can cross list if you want to. You can do whatever you want. I'm just thinking it's easier. My recommendation is that you try to get to $100 profit on one platform before you switch. Best place to get Michael Kors pallets? Great question. So I am a direct distributor for Michael Kors directly from them. The short answer is directly from them. So you can set that up. if you do enough volume, you can set up a direct relationship with Michael Kors. You can just apply. So like that is interesting. That is interesting. So I don't know how to um, do it except for spend a lot of time there. That's how I did it. Um, so I did the same thing at Lululemon. I went every single day for a couple of weeks. I have a chart. Like, at my Lululemon, I'm not even afraid to tell you guys this because it's not going to help you. At my local Lululemon, the store manager, her name is Gabby. Do not tell her I sent you. Okay. She's the top dog, but she doesn't do any of the store stuff. So if you went there, you would never see her because she's always in the back working on stuff. But she makes all the decisions. I didn't even know that until like the seventh time that I went there, right? And I met the door people, I met the stalker people, I met the cashiers, I met all the people that worked there. I met the inventory visual manager. Once I met everybody, knew everybody, spent a whole bunch of money there, they introduced me to the manager. Now pretty much I don't have to go anymore. They can just send me what they have, and that works at every single store. It works. You guys have ever heard of that? Like, people go to a Starbucks, they see a cute girl, and then they go there every single day, and then they end up getting married, right? If you see somebody that you like and you spend a whole bunch of time there, that will actually happen. But it's not going to happen if you don't go there. I thought that was creepy. There was a guy that went to Starbucks every day for 100 days before the barista finally agreed to go on a date. She's like, okay, at this point, it's stalking, and I don't want to call the police. So I'll just have coffee with you, but don't come here again. And they ended up getting together. But he kept like all 100 of the Starbucks cups that he got from her. And I thought that was kind of creepy, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's endearing. I don't know. He kept every single cup. He's like, it was love at first sight for him, not for her. It was not me. No, I got lucky. My wife asked me out. Um, no, I got lucky. Everything is just handed to me because I have tall privilege. Um, at Hush at Hush Boutique, I have tall privilege. Basically, everything that I've done in my entire life has been free because I'm tall. Holy, are you tall too? I know, right? It's like literally so easy when you're taller because people just naturally trust you. People are always like, "Do you work here?" No, I'm just tall, 6'1". That has been like every single place I walk to. People will ask, "Do you work here?" No, but what do you need? I've done that before, and some people are like, "Well, I." Some people will just get into it. Like, I need a fitting for my sink. I'm like, cool. Let me see if I can find someone to help you. Um. Okay, I have to go. I'll start a show in a few minutes. Hopefully that was useful, guys. My website is dailyrefinement.com. I do these calls every Wednesday, and essentially, I'm gonna try to give you the best information that I get reselling online for free. Um, and I will sell some today. I'm gonna sell some pallets on Whatnot. So if you guys want to check it out in a minute, I gotta finish setting it up, but I want to sell 16,000 pairs of shoes today. I don't know if I can do it, but we're gonna try to sell 16,000 pairs of shoes right after this live. I got some coffee. Uh, that's all you need. Just a cup of coffee, good night's rest. Do unto others as you want to be treated yourself, and let's raid somebody. And I'll see you guys in a little bit. Be back next week, and I'll be back on here in a little bit. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, guys.